with a full host of huge names out there. And of course, when you're playing up in Scotland, you need a former Scotland international with you. Although brought up on the green side of the divide, I do believe, Dominic Matteo.
I'm saying nothing.
Fantastic for the fans here, fantastic for the players as well. And this stadium that you know as well very well is one of the very best to play in.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to play here in my Leeds days. Brilliant stadium, lots of history, and just looking at the two teams today, a lot of talent, isn't there? A lot of good players, a lot of legends for both clubs, and a brilliant turnout and a massive crowd, obviously raising money for both foundations, which what a lot of lads were saying, the build-up, what Stevie and the boys said. It's brilliant to see today.
I think that is something that is worth pointing out as well, because these games are absolutely massive for the supporters to come down and see their old heroes, but also the amount of good, of course, that the game does, raising money for both foundations of Rangers and Liverpool as well. And of course, Steven Gerrard with a foot in both camps today, and will have a foot on both sides of the divide when he goes onto the field for Liverpool in the first half and Rangers in the second.
Well, possibly, depending on the score. The way he was talking, seems like Liverpool are comfortable, he might go and play for Rangers. But no, listen, that appetite, he's still got it, hasn't he? And great to hear him speak, and speak so well about his former club. He loves putting that red shirt on.
He's really embraced being the Rangers manager, hasn't he? He's taken it all in.
He certainly has. I mean, lucky enough to speak to him over the summer, and he's loving it, absolutely loving the job. And I think the team he has round him, he trusts them all so much as well, which is so important in the early part of your managerial career.
You've known him since he was a wee slip of a lad, obviously. I mean, he nearly burnt his flat down in Southport once, didn't you? A dodgy shower and things like that. But in terms of him as the person, has he surprised you to the way that he's moved into management so easily?
No, I think nothing with Stevie G surprises me, because he's so ambitious, isn't he? And he has that talent, and he has that aura about him that not many people have. People want to play for him, people want to be around him, and he's doing an amazing job. And as he said, he's taking each game as it comes. He's sitting top of the league. I mean, for Rangers fans, that's not happened for a while because of Celtic's dominance.
From a young age, was he always the deep thinking football mind?
Yeah, and just very talented in everything he does. Yeah.
Well, here come the players. Liverpool led out by the manager of Rangers. You just need to look at the characters that follow on behind. It should be a real cracker of a game out there. Emil Heskey, the last in line. Chris Kirkland, Stephen Warnock, who is one of the new additions to the Liverpool setup, as is Jermaine Pennant. You can see there wearing number 16, and great as always to see Jose Enrique back after all his problems with illness and a massive fight that he had. But today's very much about him. He's been very central to the whole arrangement of the fixture. The Rangers manager, legendary Liverpool captain, and of course Liverpool led as ever by Ian Rush today, with a little bit of help today from Gary McAllister and John Aldridge. I'm saying that'll be a lively bench.
I mean, that is going to be a very lively bench, knowing them three. But yeah, it's great to see them characters. I mean, it's great to have Aldo and Rushy, the old partnership up front about, and obviously Gary Mack, who's again got a foot in both camps. Big Rangers fan as well, isn't he, Gary? So it'll be a good day for him. He's gutted he wasn't playing because he had his hip operation, but great to see these lads here, isn't it?
Well, we mentioned that Liverpool side, of course, that has been brought up here. Rangers led by Richard Gough, who's the elder statesman out there at the age of 57. Scotland's first £1 million footballer, Richard Gough was, when he left Tottenham to move to Rangers back following the 1987 FA Cup final. But that Liverpool team there that you can see, there's probably a few of the boys starting to come under a little bit of pressure now, the likes of McAteer and co, as the younger boys just start to retire, and the likes of Glenn Johnson, Jose Enrique and the like all start making their way in. Great to see Clint Hill there as well, a massive Liverpool fan in his own right. And of course now the assistant manager to Joey Barton at Fleetwood, the manager of the month, of course, for League One. And Big Eck, Alec McLeish, in charge today. And as always, it's a great celebration of football. It's a great celebration of two great football clubs as well. You can see what it means for them all to be out there again.
Yeah, it's great. Listen, there's going to be some banter flying round, but I'm sure when the game starts it's going to be lively at times. But some great characters amongst both teams, and that's what you want on days like this, and plenty of goals, hopefully.
Oh yes, that's one thing that we always like, and the supporters always like on days like this. The two captains going through the formalities of the toss of the coin, exchange of the pennants as well. But it's all smiles. It's been all smiles since everyone arrived as well. In terms of the teams that we have today, well, we've seen the Liverpool side that came out. Heskey and Kaut as the front two, and the legs in midfield. Garcia, Gerrard and Pennant. And Patrick Berger's no slouch, even though he is sporting the longest beard ever seen.
Well, he's fishing nowadays, isn't he? So that's the fishing look, isn't it, apparently?
The back four, as we say, Jose Enrique, Glenn Johnson, two very, very fit boys. Jamie Carragher, who still works very hard on his fitness as well, and Jason McAteer, who is the elder statesman in that starting 11 with Jerzy Dudek in goal. Good mixture as well in the Rangers side as well. Well, players who have only just retired, the likes of Thomas Buffel, Peter Lovenkrands, Chris Boyd's just retired as well in the summer just gone. A couple of older heads in Richard Gough and Lee McCulloch, who is officially listed on the internet as a utility player, and you can appreciate that, can't you?
Yes, I can. I mean, I know Lee personally, good lad, Big Jake, and he's a good player. He keeps himself in good condition as well. Good player.
Well, here we go then, underway at Ibrox, the latest instalment of Liverpool's legends out there taking on their Rangers counterparts. And Jamie Carragher exchanging passes with Steven Gerrard. They've done that a few times down the years to ease themselves into a game. And Carragher being a little rough on Glenn Johnson, playing on the right-hand side of that central defensive partnership. You'd think that Glenn
you ain't moving Carragher, are you?
He would often play left side, though, wouldn't he?
But if you give him the choice, he's going to take the right side. And John O's probably slightly fitter, having just not long retired as well, Glenn.
That's a loose and careless touch from Luis Garcia. And the ball is off for Boyd to chase. He had some support up with him from Peter Lovenkrands, the Dane, who will have recalled playing both at Rangers and, of course, his time with Newcastle in the Premier League as well. This is Dirk Kuyt. And when you talk to the players out there, say he's still as fit as he was when he played, which is only a year and a bit ago. That's Gerrard being challenged in midfield by the ever-fiery Alex Ray.
That could be an interesting one today, couldn't it? Alex and Stevie, both like a tackle.
You know there's no Rangers players allowed to kick Steven Gerrard today.
Well, Alex Ray might be one.
The charge forward, the ball towards Alan Hutton. And the pass was a little delayed by Thomas Buffel, the Belgian. Another who's only just given up. If he has technically given up, he's officially listed as being without a club at the moment, Alan Hutton, at the age of 34, having left Aston Villa in the summer. Nice way to say goodbye after that goal that he scored against Birmingham in the second City derby last season.
Yeah, some goal, wasn't it?
Went all the way one end of the field to the other, didn't he? Luis Garcia, Steven Gerrard, Heskey, Gerrard, taken by Neil Alexander. Had to be him that had the first shot of the game, though, didn't it?
Could see a few, I think, this afternoon.
That's Chris Boyd. Alex Ray, who's 50 now. Surprised me when I looked at that. He has been around forever, but I was surprised when he plays it. You so easily identify and look at. I think, wow, he's reached 50 years old. Good.
You're not far away, are you?
I was born the same year as you, pal, so neither are you. Damn. Here's Hutton. It's towards Boyd, the cover from Carragher. Dudek will start Liverpool off again. He was playing for Kilmarnock until the summer.
Goal machine, isn't he?
I was going to say he's probably had a few months off away from football since then, looking at him. Kuyt. Here's Jermaine Pennant. McAteer. McAteer. There's Patrick Berger.
Caught a nice pike yesterday, didn't he? On the was it Loch Lomond he was fishing yesterday? Seen on his social media. Doesn't seem the same without Vladdy here, doesn't it, for Patrick?
It's very strange,
yeah,
isn't it?
It seems
seeing
weird.
one without the other.
Yeah.
McAteer.
I think they FaceTime each other.
Pennant. Heskey. Tidied it well by Lee McCulloch, who is playing in the middle of midfield, just in front of the back four. Foul by Cout on Hutton. It's a bit unfair to call Lee McCulloch a utility player, but he did a good job playing up front at times, didn't he, at Rangers?
Yeah.
Played in midfield, played wide as well. I always feel it's a bit of a disservice when players are just classed as utility players. It almost makes them sound like they're just fill-ins, doesn't it? You had to live with that for a long part. You did, though, didn't you, for a long part of your career?
Still am. No, listen, there's no doubting that Lee had a lot of ability. I know Lee. I've been involved with some football after, with Scotland in the Star Sixes, and Lee was a big player in that for us.
And he played international football with a few of these boys as well. And there's Buffel, who had over 30 caps for Belgium himself, Thomas Buffel. He was still playing top-flight football until the summer. He played for Genk for 9 years. Liverpool's forthcoming opponents in the Champions League. Dirk Kuyt. Gerrard had gone far post. The cut-out was by Sasa Papac, the Bosnian at left-back. Lovely ball, lovely spread. This is Peter Lovenkrantz. McAteer tries to stay with him and does well, but it falls towards Boyd, and that is a penalty. As the ball came down, Jamie Carragher threw himself into the challenge. The referee had no hesitation.
Jason McAteer actually got not a bad block on that, and Chris Boyd just getting behind Carragher. Let's have another look at this. Jace just backs off a little bit, gives Peter Lovenkrantz the chance, and then as it drops, yeah, I think it might be just a penalty, and Chris Boyd, I'm sure he'll take that himself.
Rejected by Rangers as a young boy, Chris Boyd came back to score a lot of goals for his boyhood club. Doesn't score there though. That is an absolutely horrendous penalty.
You'd back him all day long as well for his record, wouldn't you? In Scotland, and just drags it, doesn't he? Sends the keeper the wrong way, but wrong side of the post.
Come off his heel a little, perhaps.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest strike, was it?
Well, it certainly amused Alec McLeish and Ian Durant on the bench.
Player, wasn't he, Durante?
Had it not been for those injuries, you
Yeah,
wonder what he
yeah,
would have gone on to be, don't you?
Yeah, you speak to a lot of the old players, and they all say the same thing.
Gerrard. Berger. Little shift out from under his feet. Good charge down. Gerrard for Pennant. Gerrard goes again. That's good cover. Sasa Papac doing really, really well. Hasn't played competitive football for 7 years. The Rangers fullback, despite only being 39, he had to retire because of a groin injury when he left Rangers. Forced his leaving Rangers. Another of those that's so fondly remembered around Ibrox, and they are a club that once you play for them, you're taken in, aren't you? Really, you're taken under the wing of
most
those
definitely.
supporters. That's Hutton. Carragher in the way. A little bit of space here. Garcia for Kuyt. Lovely little flick for Heskey. Pennant. Dirk Kuyt. Lovely stand up. Well, despite the best attempts of Neil Alexander, it's a fine Luis Garcia header that puts Liverpool in front, and just minutes after they could have gone behind to Chris Boyd's penalty, they go down to the other end and Luis Garcia scores.
Yeah, Pennant pulls it back for Dirk Kuyt, and he just stands one up a little bit, and Luis Garcia, we've seen him so many times do that, just gets across the centre back, and it's a decent header, plenty of power. The power beats Alexander in the end. Good play, good build up, patient play from Liverpool, and Luis Garcia, we've seen it so many times, just arriving right on cue.
I thought for a moment Neil Alexander was going to keep this out. He got a good hand on it, just too much on it. And a little man who just loves playing football. Here's Jörg Alberts. Goff. Ray. On towards Buffel. It comes towards Ray and Chris Boyd gets in his way.
And but
the referee decides that there was a little touch off Alex Ray's hand. Glyn Johnson decides to have a little wander forward here. And Gerrard in a lot of space. Luis Garcia, it's a ball that was aimed to come round for Emil Heskey, it didn't quite do so.
Good to see big Heskey out there, isn't it? Doesn't really at times get the credit in the job he did for Liverpool at times. For me, what a player, great to play with, created so many goals for the boys, Robbie and Michael over the years, and even for England.
And here come Rangers again. Buffel. Hutton. Stretched by Jamie Carragher. Needed to as well. Pennant. Berger. Heskey. It's lovely football by Liverpool, that, isn't it? Coutts made a brilliant run through the middle. There's the pass now. Comes back to Luis Garcia. And Papac in the way this time. Berger. Gerrard. Heskey trying to look for Luis Garcia, who'd just gone round the corner for a little flick. That's a decent ball for Lovenkrantz. Still fit and fresh and lots of running in those legs.
Love it, Jace.
Jason McAteer with the challenge. 39 Peter Lovenkrantz now, but was always fit as a fiddle and always full of running.
Yeah, he was quick, wasn't he? Difficult opponent, but Jason did well there actually. Read the situation well.
Dirk Kuyt. Heskey comes now. There was perhaps a chance to turn there, but Carlos Cuellar just stood off him a little. It's Luis Garcia. Gerrard's made the run, and Neil Alexander's going to end up flat on the floor, having been crunched by Steven Gerrard. He only had a year in goal for Rangers, did Neil Alexander.
Nice little ball, wasn't it, from Garcia? Good vision, and Stevie just running into Neil Alexander there. Another of those that's not long since out of the game, 41. Spent a lot of time at Cardiff in England. Well, that doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. In the English league, before our Welsh viewers started to pull me up on it. Papac. Goff for Carlos Cuellar, who's another who didn't have much time really to enjoy life at Ibrox before he moved on to the Premier League with Aston Villa. That's the ball in behind, looking for Lovenkrantz, brilliantly read by Jamie Carragher. Good defending, wasn't it? Jamie read the situation in behind Jason. Lovenkrantz is going to make that run into that space, and Jason knows that Carragher reads that better than most.
Peter Lovenkrantz moved to Rangers from Danish football as quite a young player, and it was off the back of his performances in a Rangers shirt that he actually got to move to Schalke in the Bundesliga. And of course, it was off to Newcastle from there for him. Part of that Newcastle side that came back up with that huge points total under Chris Hughton. What, 8-9 years ago now. Here's Heskey for Liverpool. That's twice he's put a pass just behind Luis Garcia. Johnson. He tended to be a one-a-goal-a-season man, Glenn Johnson, in his Liverpool days. Wasn't his greatest strike at goal. Here's McCulloch. Lovenkrantz. Alberts. Talk about players that are absolutely loved around Ibrox, by the way. Jorg Alberts.
Right up there, isn't he?
It didn't actually end that well for him here. He fell out of favour a little under Dick Advocat after coming in and the goals that he scored, the free kicks, the penalties, the goals from outside the penalty area. One of the most famous nicknames in football, wasn't it, at the time, and probably still is now.
Yeah, the old hammer.
Jorg Alberts' hammer. When a football
the walls were certainly ducking back then, weren't they?
I was going to say, I mean, you know, if you were around in the 80s, you probably would say Johnny Method.
Yeah, I was just thinking about him then. Yeah.
Alberts is the only one from the era after that you'd probably rival in terms of the power that he put in shots.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll still be able to do it at the age of 48. That's a little loose from Goff. Well, just a little high from Pennant, looking for Luis Garcia, who, it just shows the appetite they have, will still go and chase the ball like that. Everyone else was just like, just leave that to go out.
I think out of all the players on the show, I think Luis Garcia is the one who kind of plays quite regular, doesn't he? You always see him around the world playing in these kind of games, keeps himself very fit.
He's 41 now. There's Luis Garcia. Here's Lovenkrantz finding some space. There's a big gap between defence and midfield, and Lovenkrantz decided to go first time as the ball came out. It was never near, really.
Yeah, he's finding a little bit of space, isn't he? Tries to whip in again. Jamie Carragher, good position. Don't lose that, do you? The reading of the game from Jamie. Lovenkrantz with the strike just wide.
It comes out towards Boyd here. Buffel. Alberts will nip in to try and nick the ball back. Dirk Kuyt will bring the ball away. On towards Gerrard. Rangers could be in trouble here. It is a red tidal wave coming through, and it's Luis Garcia again. And there's Berger. 2-0 to Liverpool. You could see that coming. There were just so many of those red shirts pouring forward on the break, and they make it count with a second goal.
Well, let's just say typical Stevie G, bursting through the midfield, and lovely weighted pass out to Garcia. And unselfishly, he picks out Paddy Berger with that left foot. Doesn't usually miss from that kind of range. And again, Stevie G strolling forward, and great awareness here. Pulls it back, and how many times have we seen Paddy Berger score from them situations? Lovely finish. Controlled.
I don't know if Steven Gerrard does actually take much part in training at Rangers, but
well,
it must be awful if you're a Rangers player, mustn't it?
You heard them speaking before, them Gary speaking. They play against the ground staff. They play against the, there's all kinds of games going on. I remember in my Liverpool days here, there was always a staff game against the young boys on a Monday morning, and it was so competitive. They always used to win though, 1-0. A Dalglish winner, penalty in the last minute. It was never a penalty, but what could we do?
Well, Liverpool leading 2-0. Steven Gerrard very central to it. I know we say it every single time we see him playing in these games, but still looks like he could do a decent job, doesn't he, at a very, very high level. That's round the back for Lovenkrantz, who, stretching for the ball, decided that he had to go for goal rather than head the ball across goal.
I think he was just offside. I think the linesman might have just had his flag up there, but good ball in from Lee McCulloch, and again getting a little bit of space, isn't he, down this left-hand side, and probably should have went back across the goal. Always head them back where they come from. Just
stretching a little, wasn't it? Lovely day in Glasgow today. Little chilly. I think Patrick Berger's actually got a tracksuit top on underneath his shirt. I'll check that out in a minute. Here he is. Challenged by Ray. And McAteer loses out to Papach. It's towards Boyd, won by Glenn Johnson. A little bit of space for Glenn Johnson. Maybe just went that little bit too far. Carlos Cuellar came across. Berger again.
Certainly ventured forward a few times, hasn't he, Glenn Johnson, in this coming to 20 minutes for Liverpool.
He's still forward as well.
Yeah.
You can tell that it's not a competitive game. Jamie Carragher.
He would be screaming. Yes.
There's Gerrard. Oh, that's wide.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Gerrard, as he fires wide, is somewhat annoyed at himself.
Yeah, always like to hit the target, doesn't he, Stevie?
We got that horribly wrong, didn't he? Yeah, imagine the earache that Glenn Johnson's had down the years from Jamie Carragher.
Yeah.
Doesn't want any more today.
Yeah.
Nothing special about Glenn Johnson getting earache from Jamie Carragher. Anyone who ever played alongside him got earache.
Yeah, and from an early age.
Yeah.
He learned that.
Was he always that vocal when he was young?
He was, yeah. I think he grew into it, obviously, with his experience. But yeah, it was always the right thing, though. He's never, he's always trying to do the right thing by the team.
Here's Berger. Well, it's been a very strong start by Liverpool. That's a tracksuit top, isn't it, that he's got on under that? It's certainly got a zip on it. Richard Goff, old-fashioned, just the old shirt on. At the age of 57, yeah, I think he's decided that that's it. 20 minutes for the great man. Of course, remembered from his early part of his career. That big move to Tottenham. And then, of course, very much part of the Rangers' successes towards the end of the 80s and the early 90s. A man who comes on who had a really good career. Started, of course, on Merseyside with Tranmere, Clint Hill, Liverpool, born and bred, and died in the wool, Liverpool fan.
Yeah, actually played with Clint at Stoke briefly.
And one of those players who had so many red cards in his career, but could not be more the opposite.
Yeah, off the field.
Off the field of the player that he was on
true.
it.
There's so many like that, isn't there? He was certainly one of them, though. Wholehearted player. Loved to tackle.
The assistant now to Joey Barton at Fleetwood.
Doing a good job.
He's the calm head behind Joey Barton. Oh, well, that's a little rash. Well, that really was I got there when I could tackle from Jason McAteer.
He has been getting a bit of space, hasn't he, in the early parts? So I think Jason's just a little reducer on the halfway line. Let's have a look at this one.
He says he slipped here.
Did you think?
No. That's towards Boyd. Lovenkrantz arriving behind.
Big chance, isn't it? Just leaning back. Lovely ball in and stands it up beautifully. And oh yeah, should be at the target.
That's a lovely set, isn't it? Oh. Just maybe tried to get too much on it. It's come off Dirk Kuyt. We'll go out for a goal kick. Now back to that McAteer challenge. He's had the run around from Lovenkrantz so far.
He has a little bit, yeah. It's one of those when you're playing against someone who's got out and out pace, and you're not playing regular.
He has got a bit of form in Legends games. He a little bit of a reducer on Jesper Blomqvist in a game against Manchester United in Sweden.
Well, he liked to tackle Jace when he played, didn't he?
He was never one who had that sort of persona, was he? But
no, he liked to tackle. He was competitive. Played a lot of wing back, didn't he, as well? So obviously slightly different today.
Or as they called it in those days, running back.
Yeah. That's your midfielder, wasn't he, when he came from Bolton? Had a
great spell at Bolton, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Deserved his move, you know. Red again, through and through.
Great Bolton team back then. There's Jose Enrique. Not seen much of him so far. He's back to working unbelievably hard in the gym, and his health, he says, really getting better all the time, which is fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
Here's Alberts. That's a lovely pass. McCulloch. That's on for Boyd. Flag stays down. Rangers score.
Great goal. Lovely play from Lee McCulloch in the midfield. What a ball.
Well, it just weaved its way through Liverpool. Started with Alberts. Finished by Boyd.
Yeah, been threatening a little bit, haven't they? Lovenkrands down this left-hand side. A few chances. Header, then the strike. And Chris Boyd making up for his early penalty miss. Look at this. Little outside of the foot from Lee McCulloch. That makes it. Just does him with the eyes a little bit here. Just look here now. Looking the other way. Around the corner. Chris Boyd, lovely movement, just away from the centre-back. Tucks it away just under Jersey Dudek. He's a little bit unlucky. Probably about right.
Chris Boyd was still scoring goals in Scotland's top flight until the summer. It's amazing to think that he was knocked back by Rangers as a teenager. He was a fullback back then. And he went away to Kilmarnock, and his Spurs there before moving to Rangers and having that first spell at the club before he moved down to Middlesbrough. Probably at the time he thought it was a great move. It didn't turn out to be so in the end. You can take the mickey out of Dirk Kuyt for that if you want. I'm certainly not. His career was far too good.
You love Dirk Kuyt, don't you? You love him. You've always liked him. I know you have.
No, it's just
he was one of your favourite players, wasn't he? Tell the truth.
Everyone loves Dirk Kuyt. There's not a person who has watched Liverpool for years who can't love
ultimate
Dirk Kuyt.
Professional, wasn't he, for Liverpool? You know, you've seen it, even at Feyenoord. What a player. Work rate, determination, and goals as well.
It was also fitting that it should end with that hat-trick for Dirk Kuyt in Feyenoord colours. Lovenkrands, that's a lovely ball. The little stretch from Buffel. And Johnson just did enough, but really lively from Rangers.
Unselfish, wasn't it, from Buffal, trying to pull it back for Chris Boyd, but maybe should have thought he could have took the shot on. Certain Chris Boyd wouldn't have passed from there.
That's Garcia. Here's Gerrard. Heskey goes one way. It's Gerrard. It's Emile Heskey. It's a lovely Liverpool goal. Gerrard to Heskey, and the old celebration comes out once again. Seen that before. Gerrard to Heskey, Liverpool goal, and then the old celebration.
Yeah, what a ball. Reverse ball, as you mentioned, and the celebration from the big man. What a run around the outside, and just that dink. Cool as you like over Alexander. Look at this little reverse ball. There he goes. Left foot as well, not his strongest. Lovely finish.
Gerrard played it in beautifully. And Heskey with the finish. Do you know where the celebration originated from?
Go on, enlighten me.
Came from a group of them on holiday, didn't it? There was a few of them, I think, who were involved in it, and there were a few who were doing similar celebrations. But Michael Dubry was involved in it as well, wasn't he? For a time.
I think Heskey might have scored more than Dubry.
Oh yeah, he did, yeah. That's a decent little ball, shot on the turn by Lovenkrands. Charged down well by Carragher. Papac. Oh, it could come to Lovenkrands. It's in. It's 3-2. And this could end up any score at Ibrox today. But certainly everyone is getting their money's worth now.
Maybe wasn't the greatest defending, was it, from Glenn here as the ball comes in. Probably should clear his lines, and Lovenkrands, who has been a threat, finally gets on the score sheet here. This is the one you just got to put away. 3-2. We talked about goals before the game, didn't we? We're certainly getting a few. And I'm sure we might see a few more.
Peter Lovenkrands, who has had headers, left-footed efforts, finally gets one on his right foot and manages to tap the ball home. Dirk Kuyt was caught a little late by Alex Ray there. Play goes on. Little hand of apology from the veteran. Everyone's a veteran out there, but he's more so than most. Pennant. Alexander will come and gather. With Jörg Alberts. It was unfortunate probably in his heyday that he didn't get more caps than he did for Germany, just a handful. Quite useful in midfield around the 90s, weren't they? Germany.
Yeah, just a bit. Some good competition for places back in them days.
Johnson. Luis Garcia. There's Jose Enrique. This pass for Berger was a little short. That's Ray. Nice step from Buffel again. Alex Ray. Boyd and Carragher. And it breaks towards McCulloch, who can't quite get there.
It's a good run, wasn't it? Just a little bit too much pace on it. Great burst into the box from Lee.
I think that had there been a goal there, Jamie Carragher may have just had a few questions for the referee. That's brilliant from Gerrard. He goes for the chip, which won't beat Alexander. It's funny, isn't it, that you've seen some players miss chances and laugh and chuckle to themselves. Steven Gerrard's so annoyed at himself, yes, isn't he? He's raging there.
He'll want his goal today for sure.
And it's been a really good half hour so far. Pennant. Gerrard has a word with the referee for the challenge by Clint Hill. Just felt Hill got a little too tight. Johnson read Albert's attempted a through ball. Gerrard again. Great stretch by Alex Ray.
Put himself about, hasn't he? As you said, what, 50 years old now?
Probably best remembered in England for his time under Peter Reid at Sunderland.
Yeah, I actually went on loan when Alex was at Sunderland, and he was day in, day out. He was tough in training as well. Certainly let you know, even in training, you were in a game.
Is that when you went on loan to Sunderland and you weren't allowed to go on loan to Sunderland?
Let's just leave it there, shall we? Yeah.
That's Ray's delivery. You can't actually leave it there. Just explain what happened.
No, I went on loan and signed after the deadline, so actually cost Sunderland a couple of points, which was bad. But Reedy took over from Mick Buxton, I think it was, and yeah, I couldn't play, so I had to stay and train for a month. But it's just had the experience of training with a different club for a month.
Certainly different, certainly enjoyable. Well, this is how it works now. Jörg Alberts will make way for another man with a foot in both camps. Gregory Vignal comes on for the great German. Gregory Vignal, who now works with the ladies setup at Rangers.
Yeah.
Of course, remembered his time playing for Liverpool as well. This is Jose Enrique. Gerrard. That's towards Dirk Kuyt. Gerrard's touch. Oh. Can't closer. Quite provide the finish.
Yeah. And Johnson again, wasn't it? Got one round the corner there. Dirk Kuyt into Stevie. Oh, Just you can see what he's trying to do, is fire it into that far corner, away from Alexander. Getting closer.
Well, it was a rueful smile that time as he walked back.
Yeah, just round the corner, Dirk Kuyt won it, and yeah, it's just seen them ripple in the back of the net, haven't we, a few times.
Moves like that are too good, perhaps, for like Legends games, aren't they? You know, might not quite have the same pace as maybe they would have had back in the day, but it's just brilliant to see link-ups like that. It's Kuyt being Dirk Kuyt, chasing everything. Described recently as the only man of recent years who perhaps has worked harder in a game than Roberto Firmino.
Yeah, it's a close one, that, isn't it? Yeah.
From that position. Here's Berger. Like Trey just jumped on him. Heskey, Luis Garcia, a dummy is for Gerrard. Ball just didn't quite have the legs to carry for Steven Gerrard. Luis Garcia, Vignal in his way, Gerrard, Berger, bang, and Alexander has to make the save and get down. He didn't quite get it, Patrick Berger.
Yeah. One of his better strikes, but catches hold of it, a little bit of bounce in front of Alexander, has to gather it.
He enjoyed last night by all accounts, Patrick Berger.
Really?
And events in Prague.
Oh yes, yes.
As the Czech Republic beat England.
Yeah, that'll have helped Scotland fans out a little bit as well after not a good night in Russia.
That always amazes me. Patrick Berger only won 42 international caps.
They must have had some team, mustn't they?
How he didn't win 142. Of course, they did have the likes of Pavel Nedved back then and people like that. Out looking for Heskey, who was coming the other way. Prague boy, of course. Patrick Berger. He played for both Sparta and Slavia.
Did you ever have a Patrick Berger outside the ground? Remember that little stand? You had one, didn't you? You definitely had one. I did.
Here's Gerrard.
Made a few quid, that guy.
Kuyt. McAteer. Seen much of him coming forward.
Yeah, but withdrawn today, hasn't he?
Quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah, Lovenkrantz has been pushing him back a little bit.
Vignal in the way. Luis Garcia's won it back. McCulloch, he can't keep it. Berger swings that lefty at it. Jose Enrique, it's a bit of a hospital ball for Steven Gerrard. That's a good old-fashioned Clint Hill challenge.
He's made a few since he's come on, hasn't he? Have a look. Yeah, ball and man. Bit old school. Clint's saying he got just the ball.
Luis Garcia keeps himself in pristine condition, as you can see. He's off the back of playing for Liverpool Legends in Australia. He actually signed to play in the A-League, didn't he?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. Johnson, Pennant, Gerrard, a bit too tight. And away by Ray. Kuyt. It's over the top of Emil Heskey. It's been a really good game so far. There's been plenty of little challenges in there as well. And it's certainly competitive.
Good to see the Doc, isn't it? Dr. Waller used to manage.
Mark Waller, of course, on the bench.
Yeah.
Again, working with Rangers now, part of
Yeah,
that
it is that trust.
family setup and that system that Steven Gerrard has got. Players,
we said before the game,
players that he played with,
connections,
all connections from throughout his life, really.
Yeah, people he trusts. That's how it works nowadays, and I think it's certainly working for him at the moment.
That's Gerrard. Dirk Kuyt. Away by Clint Hill. Ray. Vignal. On for Lovenkrantz. There's the pass, and it's... I was going to say it's turned home by Buffel. It wasn't turned home by Buffel.
He'll get a bit of stick about this one later, I'm sure. Lovenkrantz puts it on a plate for him, and that's probably harder to score. It's a miss, sorry, that is to score there. Oh, he's going to get some stick, as they say, at half-time or later on.
Here's Gerrard. Berger. Gerrard! Oh! And now he doesn't score. Clint Hill got in the way and made the block. They grew up very, very close to each other by those two, by the way.
I thought it came off the post.
It comes off the post by Clint Hill, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a brilliant block, isn't it? Look, and you can see the little smile from Clint there. I'm sure Stevie would have claimed it anyway.
And a couple of Heighton boys. Boyd's just offside.
Been a menace, hasn't he? Be disappointed he didn't get his penalty, Boydie.
There's been a couple of horrendous misses, not just the penalty.
Are you saying Stevie just had a horrendous miss?
No, I'm saying
so fell. Oh, you know, you're backtracking now.
That was a
you
great,
said a couple. You said a couple.
That was a great block. Peter Lovenkrantz is going to make way for the time being. Jonathan Johansson will come on to replace him. He got his goal. He probably could have had a hat-trick.
I think Jason might be quite pleased he's gone off. Brothers, what do you think?
Could be glad
saying
to see
that,
the back
Johansson's no slouch either, is he?
On comes the...
Is that being planned, that up against Jason? That out-and-out pace?
Johansson at the age of 44. A man, of course, who was capped over 100 times for Finland. Probably best remembered for his time with Charlton in England.
Yeah.
You'll have played against him there, Dom.
I think I did, yeah.
Challenged by...
Good side then, Charlton.
Alan Hutton.
Yeah, Alan Kirbysley.
Jonathan Johansson was part of that side. Mark Fish at the back as
Mark
well.
Fish.
Parker in midfield, John Jensen,
yeah. Some good players.
There's Gerrard. Papac in the way. There is Johansson. Alex Ray making sure that he wasn't losing out as he turned into Luis Garcia, but just planted the feet. Hutton on the charge. Well, the ball was on for Jonathan Johansson. Just didn't quite have the legs on it from Alan Hutton.
Certainly both teams had a good go, haven't they, in this first half? Plenty of energy. It's going to dip at times because of the ages, but I've seen some good goals and some good chances.
Lovely ball by Pennant. Gerrard, the Kuyt. Will come back to Steven Gerrard. Vignal is Ray. Ball inside McAteer, who's floundering. Jonathan Johansson. And Carragher has to come across.
Defending, wasn't it, from Carragher?
The old Carragher step over as well,
yeah,
to carry the ball away.
Loves that step over, isn't he?
As much as Emile Heskey's known for little celebration, Jamie Carragher's step over is part and parcel of his football down the years.
Down by the corner flag.
Just to send the forward the other way and come out with the ball. And he still fell for it. It's Gerrard looking for Cad, won't quite find him. It is true though, he did it all the time and forward still fell for it. Boyd. Buffel. Only Boyd ahead of him. Hutton joining now. Here's Lee McCulloch. Vignal. He can hit them with his left foot. Wasn't too far away. Caught it well enough, but just couldn't keep it down. Approaching the end of what's been a really good first half. Liverpool have scored some outstanding goals, led brilliantly by Steven Gerrard. At the other end, Rangers have got two, and Chris Boyd has missed a penalty as well, which was a real shocker. Lovenkrands with a couple of bad misses, and then Buffel as well just before half-time. And Rangers will feel, well, probably should have scored 4 or 5, but then Liverpool probably feel the same.
It could have been 4 or 5 each, couldn't it, to be honest? Maybe Liverpool just edged it at times, but good game. Both teams being competitive and both having a go and both creating chances, so good first half.
Everything we hoped it would be. At half-time, it's the Rangers Legends 2, Liverpool's Legends 3.
The way I look at it is like this. I don't go to watch a football match, I go to take part. The first banner I made was tin of red brick paint, an our bed sheet, just square letters, LFC. That was 74. The banners are important because they're a means of expression, it's a way of expression, you know. The way of Liverpool supporters is such that it's a genre on its own. A way of saying what you want to say. There is a code, there is a language to banners, you know. There are player banners, there are picture banners, there are philosophical banners, there are place banners, there are triumph banners. It's part of an ongoing communication. And the key in the dynamic is the success of the football team. That lifts your spirits, that makes you feel bigger and brighter and, you know, better. And it causes you to think of good things and, you know, you want to see that again. People will have different banners that mean different things to you. Joey at the frog's legs, you think this is hell. Try the Grafton on a Friday night. Over the line and far away. Off to the match we go. We'll be as we are when all the fools who dog to us fade away. What we achieve in life echoes in eternity. This is a sheet. Just so you know, like. Brilliant, brilliant.
I think it's important with a decent football career that you don't cling to it too much. Take your learning, develop it, give it to someone else.
They say the goalkeepers, they are a little bit crazy, you know. This is my hobby, my passion. This is all about my life now. I've learned so many things from my coaches there, how to behave, how to train, how to communicate and how to respect everybody. Those are values that can be implemented anywhere.
1 minute you're dreaming of playing for Liverpool at Anfield, the next you're wondering if you'll ever kick a ball again. With the support of so many people, I've made a new life for myself.
The Atlantic salmon is one of the really iconic fish of the world. If you hook it, your heart starts pumping straight away. It's so strong.
Football was my safety net, really. Getting up and going training and playing, it was giving me something that I needed at the time, because my personal life was a mess. I was not seeing this baby grow up that I was doting on. My relationship had broken down and there was no real going back to that. And then I got to a point where I just thought, there's nothing in my life, really. There's nothing I'm striving to do. You know, I might as well just give up on it all and be easier if there was no. I didn't have the hassle. I didn't have the hassle of it all, and didn't have all them problems.
Join us in the LFC dressing room every Thursday at 9 o'clock for LFC Later. In a show packed with exclusive interviews, celebrity chats, quirky features and live music, we take a sideways look at events at the club on and off the pitch. Don't miss LFC Later, Thursdays at 9 p.m. on LFC TV.
Goals galore at Ibrox, half-time only, and we've already had 5 of them. Rangers legends trailing Liverpool legends 3-2 at the break. Don Matteo's nipped in for a catch-up on what we've seen, and it actually could have been more than the 5 we've had. It's been a goal fest. It's been good.
Yeah, it's been really good. Both teams having a real go. Chances both ends, and obviously this is what the fans want to see, isn't it? You know, Lovencrantz here, early chance, and boy, he maybe goes down a bit easy for carers like him, but it's a penalty, isn't it?
It probably is. Yeah, it probably is. He does make the most of what's there, but there is a dangled leg.
Goes down quite slowly, let's just say that.
Yes.
And,
and maybe he feels guilty, I don't know, because it's not his best moment, is it?
For a guy with his record, he'll be gutted. He didn't score there, but he sends the keeper the wrong way and just drags it. But I think Carra got let off a little bit there, I think, Jamie. He'd be happy that he missed.
I would think so. He might have had a quiet word on the way back to the resumption. And then the goals did start to come. First, from a lovely little bit of work from Dirk Kuyt, Luis Garcia at the far post. 2 lads in very good shape still.
You can see, can't you? And yeah, he just stands it up, and you know, the Rangers defence maybe sleeping a little bit, should we say? And yeah, Luis Garcia does well. He arrives. He always in his career arrived at the right time, didn't he? And again, the timing was perfect. Alexander a little bit unlucky. Just the power on the header beats him into the roof of the net.
Yeah, he got a little later, felt the full force of the Clint Hill experience, didn't he? But what you don't lose, I guess, as a player is this ability to combine. It's a lovely team goal.
This was a typical Liverpool goal, wasn't it, if you turn back the years? And yeah, lovely through ball from Stevie G, and great awareness from Garcia. You know, most players would just finish that, but he has the awareness to get his head up, and just the weight of pass back to Barry Berger, so he doesn't have to do anything but put his foot through it, and with that left foot, he isn't going to miss from that kind of distance.
No, and he didn't. Back came Rangers, of course. Home fans desperate for them to be competitive, and Boyd makes amends.
Yeah, good build-up again.
Yeah.
I think the ball comes to Liam McCulloch here, big jig, and he just whips the outside of the foot to Boyd, who makes a lovely run just off the back of Glenn Johnson, and it's a great finish. Look at the outside of the boot there from Liam McCulloch, and Boyd with the left foot just sticks under Jersey Duzek. A little bit unlucky that probably the weight of the ball beat him in the end.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd see the DJ celebration from Big M, and we did. Once again, Gerrard very much involved. Great awareness.
How fast was he getting round the back then?
I know.
Little overlap from Big Hesk, and lovely way of pass from Stevie. We've seen that so many times for club and country, and what a finish! Left foot as well, a little dink into the net.
He might need a couple of minutes to recover. That was some overlapping run. And then 3-2, not Glenn Johnson's finest moment.
I think in a normal day that would have been cleared into the stand, but tries to take the touch, I think, on his, I don't know if it's off his shoulder, off his chest or whatever, but it's all wrong. And Lovencrantz, who's had a good first half, probably deserves his goal.
Absolutely, he's still certainly mobile. It's fair to say, he was always rapid, wasn't he, as a player. And a couple that probably should have hit the back of the net. Buffel at one end, and Stevie, who's clearly desperate to score. I mean, imagine for both teams at the other.
I mean, this is the kind of thing I'd probably miss back in my day, but Buffel, it was harder to miss, really, than score, and he's just got his body shape. Maybe a little bit, as it comes into me, just turns his body and it opens it up just a little bit too much, and yeah, he'll be getting a bit of stick in the dressing room, I'm sure, for that. And
I thought this was in, and in fact I didn't realise until Brad has pointed it out that it's caught Clint Hill on the way.
It's a brilliant block, isn't it, from Clint Hill? I was the same. I thought it just come straight off the post. Good ball in from Paddy Berger, and Stevie G will be absolutely gutted he's missed that, but a little luck there, wasn't it, between Clint and Stephen?
Yep, 2 boys from Huyton. So I would imagine, as I mentioned, that Stephen will be playing the full 90 minutes because we expect him fully to turn out for his current club.
Yeah.
And he'll want to score for both, will he not?
He'll want his goal, won't he? So hopefully for Stevie, he gets one early for Liverpool. Then he gets the opportunity to put the Rangers kit on, which would be perfect, won't it, for a day with his current role as Rangers manager.
Absolutely. And of course it is, as we keep pointing out rightly, to raise important funds for both clubs' foundations. So important that both sets of fans obviously go home happy.
Of course, and get to see the current manager of Rangers and the ex-player play a bit for both teams.
OK, that's the first half done. We expect more when the second half starts in just a couple of minutes.
LFC TV's Premier League review show is the best place for a detailed look back at the weekend's action. With expert, in-depth analysis from former Liverpool striker Neil Mellor, we use the latest technology to examine the formations, tactics, key moments and goals and bring you the big match facts and stats. We'll also have exclusive reaction from key players and Jurgen Klopp. So, to be in the know, don't miss the Premier League review show every Monday at 6:30 and 10:15.
It's his passion and his work rate never to surrender. That's Jamie Carragher.
Self-belief, a phenomenal ability to score goals. He could see opportunities that others couldn't.
Fernando Torres, when he was at his peak, unplayable.
Sami Hyypiä as a player, very professional, always fighting. He was very, very good.
He could score a goal, could put a great ball into the box. He was near enough to complete all-rounder, but certainly from an attacking point of view, Macha was the best dribbler of his generation.
Steven Gerrard was a force of nature. He just tore into games with his personality, with his strength. He was just a winner.
Very, very quick, ability to create stuff from out of nothing. Michael Owen knew what he wanted to do and he went out and did it.
Character, desire, passion, leader, he had everything. Louis could come up with a bit of magic at any point.
Welcome back to Ibrox Stadium. The sun beating down, just a short distance from the banks of the River Clyde. The stadium's played host to some very, very famous days and evenings of football down the years. And today, of course, has been certainly interesting and certainly entertaining between Rangers and Liverpool.
Yeah, plenty of goals. good endeavour, should we say, at times from the players, getting forward and creating chances, and a bit of fun as well, which the fans always like to see.
On the evidence of what we saw in the first half, Liverpool will be terrified for playing Steven Gerrard in the second one.
Yeah, most definitely. I think with Stevie, as we all say, he could probably still play at some level, I'm sure. He's got that ability, hasn't he? But he wants to win, and as Matt was saying in half-time, I'm sure he'll want to score for both teams if possible, just to kind of make the day, won't it, complete. But obviously, with Clint Hill on the other, trying to stop him with them tackles, it might be difficult.
Yeah, they grew up near to each other. I think Clint was the school year above Stephen. There's always a certain rivalry for those boys that hail from Highton, isn't there?
There's a lot.
So many of them.
There's a lot, yeah.
If you look throughout football as well, there's so many Highton boys who have made it.
There is. Yeah, I wonder who's the best. Is that an easy one?
Yeah, I think that might be a simple one. A lad who went to Cardinal Heenan and went on to lift the European Cup.
Maybe some Everton and some Man United fans might disagree, but
yeah, well, certainly would.
But we wouldn't.
Yeah, certainly not down the years. In terms of players that we've seen so far today, we know what we're getting from these Liverpool boys. Jermaine Pennant's just settled into life and still keeps himself fit, doesn't he?
I'm not sure if Jason's too happy with his tracking back though. He likes getting forward as he always did, but not really going back towards his own goal.
But in truth, Sasa Papac hasn't come forward from left back, so there's an argument there.
I think there's been a gentleman's agreement made last night. I've made a couple of them before, John.
Just little ones to say, you just stay there and don't do that. But yeah, the fitness of Cal.
Yeah,
Garcia.
Yeah, it's plain to see, isn't it?
Johnson.
I think even Lee McCulloch for Rangers has been one, a fit guy, looks after himself. And even Alex Ray, for a period, you think about his age, he put himself around in that first half, didn't he? And Goffey, but what, half an hour was it in nearly? A bit less, sorry?
Yeah, a little less, yeah.
Yeah, but, still, to get out there against some of these boys, it's decent.
Well, he's due to be playing in a blue shirt in this half.
He wants his goal, doesn't he?
Is that what you think
it
is?
It's got to be. Goal for both.
It's certainly competitive out there as well, which I think will have a bearing on which way he's playing. Rangers, of course, still have the likes of Nacho Novo and Michael Mols to bring on, who were huge favourites around here. And, of course, in that man in midfield there, Lee McCulloch, as Dominic was saying, someone you played with last year.
Yeah, I was actually his manager.
Yeah.
But we were getting some results then when I was managing. But no, he's a good guy, Lee. Great for the dressing room, one a big character, and I'm sure the Rangers, just like Liverpool, they're having plenty of laughs today.
Well, this is a fellow that the Rangers fans absolutely love. A really good embrace with Dirk Kuyt as well. Looks a bit different than when he was playing, doesn't it, Pedro Mendes?
Yeah.
Still the same hair, it's just very silver these days.
Good footballer, only Mendes, eh?
Again, another tricks loved around these parts. Marvin Andrews as well. So a few of those that are coming on for the second period. Alan Hutton. Buffel, who was the one who perhaps had the miss of the first half. There's always one in these sort of games, and unfortunately for him, the Belgian was the one who was there. This is Lee McCulloch. Pedro Mendes gets his first touch, and Papac starts to have a little wander forward. At the moment for Liverpool, Emil Heskey's over on that right-hand side, and Liverpool now are on the charge, and they have the ball with Dirk Kuyt, and they have Steven Gerrard through the middle. Here is Gerrard, one-touch control, wants to get it out from his feet, and then Dirk Kuyt could only smile. And a bit of a shocker for him. Gerrard was desperate to score, realised it was better if Kuyt was to do so.
Yeah, Clinton Hill and Papac did well to get back, and in the end Stevie pulls it back for Dirk Kuyt, and really again he player of his standing should be scoring, but just slips at the last minute. Both trying to set each other up though, Stevie and Dirk at that point.
Well, that's delivered, looking for Johansson. Here's Jose Enrique. He's starting to have a little wander forward himself. Cahill will be getting some good-natured ribbing for that miss. Already on the field, as well as off it a little later, without a shadow of a doubt. Carragher.
Don't think Carragher will mention that, will he? Do you think?
Certainly will. Gerrard. Ball is for Luis Garcia. The cover was good. Alan Hutton will bring the ball away. That's a nice ball for Jonathan Johansson. Carragher can't get there. And Yeti Dudek has to make a really good save there for Liverpool.
Chris Kirkland, I think it was. I think.
There you go. Changing goalkeeper. We didn't even see it.
I think so, mate. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, give Big Kirky some credit there. Good touch, wasn't it?
Good save.
Yeah, just round the post.
It's Garcia for Cout again. And Gerrard goes flying forward. Patrick Berger's through the middle. Cout again. Trey still tigerishly chasing.
Put a shift in today, Alex Ray.
Remember, he's 50 years old as well, is Alex Ray. Look at that.
Just look after himself. Good tackle, wasn't it, as well?
Papach. Here's Pedro Mendes. And towards Hutton. Michael Mols. Mendes. Oh, lovely ball. Great piece of defending by Jamie Carragher. Because Papach was waiting for it. Jamie Carragher did ever so well.
Just does enough, doesn't it? It's a decent ball in from Mendes. Good whipped in ball and just does enough, Jamie, to put Papach off at the back post.
Well, don't forget, of course, we're enjoying watching this. Gregory Vignal swap sides, by the way, and hasn't even got his name and his number on his shirt. That's
trying to confuse you.
A late swap just to try and catch us all out, like sneaking on Chris Kirkland. When we thought it was on. But don't forget, while we are enjoying watching these legends play, it is all about raising money today, and a donation from today's game goes to the LFC Foundation, the Reds' official charity, which delivers a range of programs and partnerships to create life-changing opportunities for children and young people across the Liverpool City region and worldwide. If you do want to find out more and make a donation, you can find details of how to do so on the official website down in the bottom corner of your screen there, foundation.liverpoolfc.com. And doing so much good, of course, both foundations, which is why we're all here today, watching what's been a decent little afternoon of football being served up by these two sides. This Dirk Kuyt, Luis Garcia, Marvin Andrews with the challenge.
A couple of good interceptions, hasn't he, in the early part of this second half? Andrews. Him and Clint Hill are certainly a formidable partnership, aren't they, at centre-back now for Rangers.
Great old Trinidadian international, isn't he, Marvin Andrews?
Won't mess with them too.
He played at Rangers around the mid-2000s, but of course had a long career in Scottish football that started with Wraith. Ended at Clyde 3 years ago. Years in and around the Scottish leagues, apart from a little spell at Wrexham. Although I found out that Wrexham were in the Scottish Cup this year, which
I know I
completely perplexed me a little earlier.
I was confused as well when Matt said that. Yeah, crazy.
Here's Alan Hutton. I thought it was just the rugby union that did that. Pedro Mendes. Clint Hill was trying to zing one. Berger. Straight at Pedro Mendes. It's 10 years since he was a Rangers player. He moved north of the border after his spell in England. It's surprised he only had 4 years in England.
Yeah.
Tottenham and then
play,
Portsmouth. A very big part of the Portsmouth setup that they had working down there. Very much part of the Portsmouth side that won the FA Cup back in 2008. He was man of the match in the final, actually. Here he is now, the former Porto and Portuguese international. Just looking for Buffel. Ray. That's Hill. Clint Hill's old partner, Dave Challoner from Tranmere back in the day, has just lost his job at Fyle today. Sad to hear that.
The old long throw specialist, wasn't
it? It was the long throw specialist. Very good memory that.
They were hard to defend against them, I tell you.
With Clint Hill doing the flick ons.
They weren't very nice. Let's just say that.
Here's Papach. Looking for McCulloch's run. The legs wouldn't quite get him there.
How did Kirky sneak on without us seeing him? He's like 6 foot. He's 6'5", isn't he? Or 6'6".
6'6", and he snuck on. That's forward for Gerrard. That Count's coming to join the attack. Vignal was coming as well. Heskey's having to do a bit of. Well, he had to do a little bit of chase. That's a beautiful ball by Pedro Mendes.
Oh, the
flank's got up against Jonathan Johansson.
Close one. Yeah, I think he knows. It looked like I thought he was onside from when I first looked at it, but
well, there's no VAR here today.
Specsaver's on his arm. He can't be wrong, can he? Have a look.
You're not really going to be able to tell from that angle.
No, wasn't the best angle, was it, to see?
Here's Vignal. Cal. Just on Gregory Vignal, he would have joined Liverpool just as you were leaving, wouldn't he?
Yeah, probably around that period.
2000.
2000, yeah. Just.
He had 4 or 5 years at Liverpool, never really able to make that firm breakthrough. Of course, had some decent players around those positions in those days. That's Jose Enrique's delivery. Headed away towards Vignal. A little uncomfortable, the clearance look from Papach, but he got the ball away. Here's Jonathan Johansson. Johansson, of course, in those Charlton days, played up with Sean Bartlett, didn't he?
Yeah, he pulled another name out of the bag there, didn't you? Yeah.
South African. It's nice. Oh, Jamie Carragher in the way as ever. As Liverpool were just being opened up for a moment. Oh, I think that might be a foul. The referee says play on. Clint Hill could be straight through Steven Gerrard. Here's Heskey. Gerrard continued his run, but would have been offside. Here is Liverpool's captain. Well, Patrick Berger stopped and couldn't start again. Well, Stephen Warnock will get an opportunity now to join the action out there. Jason McAteer had a pretty torrid 35 minutes or so until Peter Lovenkrands went off.
Yeah,
will make way.
He's put a shift in, let's say that. It's a tough game for him today. Stevie Warnock's still pretty young though, isn't he?
37.
Yeah, not long retired, is he, Stevie?
He's only
fit lad.
A year out of the game, of course. Not entirely sure how comfortable he is at right back, of course. He was in the he was just coming into the academy really when you were in the first team, wasn't it?
Yeah, I always heard good things about Stevie. Bad luck with his injuries, didn't he? 3 leg breaks, was it, in his career? You know, amazing that he had the career he did after such bad injuries. But yeah, good lad, Stevie. Good career, played at some big clubs.
Jason McAteer, by the way, has officially gone off with an injury. He's got a heel problem.
No way.
You know. Yes.
That's not an injury.
Jermaine Pennant, who's gone off, by the way, as well, who was expected to play the 90 minutes, has just got a little bang on his Achilles. And while we don't have a camera in the dressing room, he's actually on an exercise bike in the dressing room just in case he needs to come back on to try and keep it loose.
David Thompson's down there somewhere. I'm sure
he is. David Thompson's hovering as well.
Yeah, he'll definitely be hovering.
This is Glenn Johnson needing to clear, which he does well. We'll talk about the injuries. Stephen Warnock. Glenn Johnson had a horrendous time with injuries, didn't he, during his time at Liverpool?
Yeah.
Always so popular as well, and so well liked amongst his peers. Down to Stoke from there.
Yeah, I think even when he's speaking now, when he's doing his media work, he speaks a lot of sense, doesn't he? Very calm, the way he talks about football. I think he likes his golf as well, doesn't he? He's playing a couple of courses while he's up in Scotland.
There's a few decent ones.
Yeah.
Good read by Glenn Johnson. On by Gerrard. Luis Garcia. Gerrard's arriving now. There's the little scoop, which doesn't find Steven Gerrard and the reaction. Well, I can guarantee that face, that reaction and those words from Gerrard to Luis Garcia had them plenty of times during his playing days.
Sure he did, plenty
at
of
Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think Steven Gerrard also told him to go back and play in midfield and cover for him after he made that big bursting run forward. Here's Luis Garcia again. Not quite managed to put that little slick interchange of passing together in this second period as of yet that they had that created those chances in the first. Here's Steven Gerrard.
Saita.
He does want to score, doesn't he? You can see it.
Yeah. Stevie Warnock had actually made a decent run on the outside. I don't think he's going to say too much to Stevie though. As you can see there, plays it and goes, and Stevie decides to take the shot on.
Well, the word from the benches is that he's got 9 minutes to score. And he's coming off in 9 minutes.
No pressure.
So no pressure. I don't think he's actually coming off. I think he's coming off and coming straight back on, but in a different coloured shirt.
Amazing turnout today, and they must mention that. There's so many people here for this great cause today.
There's not many more passionate than the fans of the great Glasgow Rangers. Vignal and Jose Enrique on different wavelengths. The one thing that's surprising is that we haven't had a goal since half-time. It's 17 minutes of the second half.
Maybe the pace has dropped just a little bit in the second half. Half-time doesn't help as you get older.
Perhaps inevitably.
The old limbs seem to seize up a little bit.
When did you last play 90 minutes?
I played a couple of years ago in a friendly, and that'd be the last time I probably had a play. After what happened to myself, my body afterwards wasn't good.
Here's Alex Ray towards Moles. Not entirely sure Stephen Warnock didn't just give him a little nudge underneath that.
Just saying there, isn't he? Let's have a look.
A knowing look from Michael Moles.
So look at here. A little ball from Alex Ray actually. Maybe. Little look from Stevie as well, wasn't there, towards him.
Little look towards the floor as well afterwards.
Keep your head down, that's the best way when that happens.
No, but you look guilty if you do that. You have to just brazen it out, don't you? Johnson, Gerrard, Garcia. The shot was straight at Neil Alexander.
I think Glenn Johnson wanted it back into the middle, then he made a good run again. Yeah, look.
Pedro Mendes, who has just been distributing the ball since he came onto the field.
Yeah, his passing's been brilliant.
He's only 40, by the way. Probably think he looks a bit older than that with the old grey hair and the way he looks these days. Moles. And it was supposed to be for Buffel. They were at odds with one another there, what the other was trying to do.
Left backs on the field at the moment for Liverpool, isn't there? Vignal, Enrique, Warnock. Unusual, isn't it? Couldn't find one for a few years. There's three on the pitch at the same time.
Jamie Carragher played left back as well a few times, didn't he?
Yeah. Not sure if he liked it, but later.
I think in a similar way to James Milner when he played there.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure if he liked it.
Still might see him again there at some point.
Stephen Warnock's given the ball away there. Glenn Johnson intercepting to stop Buffel running away with the ball on goal. Here's Steven Gerrard. Saved by the goalkeeper. Oh, it's a brilliant double stop from Neil Alexander. Kept Gerrard's shot out. And then as it came out to Luis Garcia, he picked himself up and did the same.
Yeah, they back off, don't they? How many times? And once it's right down the throat of Neil Alexander-Arnold, sorry, and it's a good save. He parries it out, and the second save is probably better as it comes back here to Luis Garcia.
This is Vignal. Oh, decent strike. That's a good save. That's a really good save.
Brilliant save.
That's the best we've seen today.
Yeah, 3 good saves in a short space of time there, and really doesn't have to get hold of this Vignal. And lovely hand.
Well, off goes Thomas Buffel, and here comes a great name of football of the past. A man who went toe-to-toe with Liverpool in the 80s, Trevor Steven. And of course, it was up to Rangers after, under Graham Souness, of course.
It was,
He and Gary Stevens. Oh, it's a lovely
great
ball by Glenn Johnson for Vignal.
I could have crossed it.
Good cover.
Nickname was Sir Trevor, wasn't it? At Everton, is that right? Someone told me once.
Berwick boy, wasn't he? Berwick boy.
Good knowledge.
He played for England.
He
was born in Scotland.
Yeah. Good career, didn't he, Trev?
It's towards Steven Gerrard, away by Clint Hill.
Kind of playing up front now, isn't he, Stevie? Levitating towards that Rangers goal.
Trevor Stephen was a big part, wasn't he, of Bobby Robson's England team in the late 80s as well. And for those younger viewers, he was such an outstanding footballer. Another who had a lot of injury problems as well. Here's Patrick Berger. And then again. And still. Eventually, the legs just wouldn't keep going with the ball there. He was twisting, he was trying to move around, he just couldn't keep moving. Here's Alex Ray. I'll take your hat off to Alex Ray, by the way. He's one of the freshest and fittest out there.
Up and down, isn't he?
Moles. That's McCulloch.
Dink, wasn't he, Lee? He beat Big Kirky from there, though. They played together at Wigan. McCulloch and Kirkland, maybe.
There's Pedro Mendes. Hutton. And it's towards Jonathan Johansson. Stephen Warnock had to put himself about to go with the fin. Just to clarify your question, they had about a year together at Wigan, Kirkland and McCulloch.
So, yeah. Connections, didn't there, with Liverpool and Wigan, with the players. You know, David Thompson as well, he's on the bench. He took a little spell at Wigan, didn't he?
It's Marvin Andrews.
Paul Jewell as well, he was a Liverpool, started at Liverpool, didn't he, as a player? Yeah.
And if you go back to when Wigan first got into the league, the first person who scored a goal for Wigan in the league, Tommy Gore, was an ex-Liverpool apprentice. Trevor Stephen. Moles. Away by Johnson. An untimely slip by Alex Ray.
Yeah, but once as well, it got away from Mendes, didn't it?
They hurt, don't they, a little more when you hit the ground. 50, you have to pick yourself up. I think Alex Ray's feeling that a little bit.
The mice baths will be busy after the game, won't we?
I think Steven Gerrard is just deciding what he's doing here. We've played 70 minutes. I'm not entirely sure if he's going to get fully changed or just change his Liverpool shirt. Gregory Vignal is making way anyway. Jermaine Pennant is coming back on. Here's Berger. Stephen. Age of 56 now. I turned 56 about 3 weeks ago. Can't quite find the pass for Lee McCulloch. Warnock. Could be the most left-footed right back. Thinks it's Ian Hart played right back with you at Leeds for a while. Here's Steven Gerrard moving forward for Liverpool. Cut out by Clint Hill again.
Ooh, a bit late, wasn't it?
That's maybe one back for that one earlier.
Yeah.
I think it'd take more than that though to rattle Clint Hill. He would go down as uncompromising in the list of centre halves from down the years. Did well to rise up through the game and of course play in the Premier League.
He did, yeah.
Did so well with Queen's Park Rangers. Pedro Mendes, McCulloch, Stephen, Hutton, Mendes. Hutton again. That's Gerrard on Alex Ray.
Just a little bit of, yeah. Certainly had that aspect which you need in these games, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been competitive,
Yeah,
hasn't it? You know, they've not been afraid of tackling each other.
Nothing naughty, just the way it should be. A bit of respect for each other. That's where you need George Alberts. Can we not get him off the bench?
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? This was made for Jorg Alberts. Alex Ray's going to take it. He's got to go for goal, surely. He's not. He's decided to go far post towards Moles. And Chris Kirkland does enough.
Clint Hill, wasn't it?
To make sure Clint Hill wasn't on hand to score.
Nice little dink, wasn't it? Moles found a bit of space. Stevie Warnock slipped and Kirky just ushers the ball out away from Clint Hill.
Jose Enrique. Drilled it straight at Marvin Andrews. Trevor Stephen turn. He's done that a few times down the years. Our Rangers can make another change now. Another hugely popular character is going to enter the fray with the chance to get some fresh legs on. Jonathan Johansson will make way for them. Wonderful reception for Nacho Novo. They love him around these parts.
Big favourite, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
6 years at Rangers, from 2004 to 2010. He made his name really in Scottish football, first with Wraith and then with Dundee.
Dundee, was it? Yeah.
Had a little spell late on his career at Carlisle United, but absolutely adored. Of course, scored the winning goal in the 2009 Scottish Cup final. His first season he scored 25 goals for the club. Won the league and League Cup double.
There he is, pocket rocket.
David Thompson is going to come on now with 15 minutes to go. Steven Gerrard is coming off. Now how quickly can he get changed?
Nice, isn't them two probably played together in the FA Cup winning side, did they, in the Youth Cup? Thompson and Gerrard, good mates.
Well, of course, David Thompson was all part of that famous academy win against Southampton, wasn't he?
He was.
When you all scored.
Yeah.
Even you. Which was a rarity.
Good header though, wasn't it?
It was a good header. Almost as good as your run from halfway against Huddersfield in the FA Cup.
He'll be live in the dressing room, Tomo. Tell you, him and Keller. Oh.
He's certainly not shy in that colour boots, is he?
No. Wonder where he found them this morning. He'll have definitely turned up with no boots.
Why'd you say that?
Oh, I just know him well.
All grew up with these boys, of course, Dominic and David Thompson.
I've roomed with most of these lads.
Jamie Carragher and
I used to took Jamie to Greece once on holiday.
You did?
Yeah, little week away. Eventful trip.
Educational. One time that you went on holiday with the boys, with Jamie Carragher, Robbie Fowler, and to a little party town in Greece, and found the manager there as well.
Did find
yes.
Roy was there.
Roy Evans was there.
Son was working out there. Yeah.
Here comes Pennant for Liverpool. Warnock on the overlap. Papats does well again.
Goal kick he's good, I think, hasn't he?
He has. Well, there's 13 minutes to go. Rangers would love to give their fans a leveller. It's been another fine afternoon of football involving such iconic names of both football clubs from down the years. Trevor Stephen here. Alan Hutton. Nacho Novo goes one way. Lee McCulloch's now playing as the other centre forward for.
Did play a bit of his career up front.
He did, yeah,
times,
he did, yeah. I mean, I think he was initially really known as a forward, wasn't he? And then was converted just because of his own unselfish nature. David Thompson nearly fell over, just managed with that low centre of gravity to keep himself down. That's Jose Enrique.
Strike.
In the corner.
Alexander's made some decent saves, hasn't he, in the second half, and ball in from Pennant. Back from Garcia, and good to see Enrique getting forward. Decent strike and nice height maybe for Alexander. Just to tip it over.
Stephen Warnock. Header away by Alan Hutton. It's Nacho Novo. This is Trevor Stephen. Hutton. Moles is deep. As Nacho Novo looks for him. And Carragher shepherds it through to Chris Kirkland. Well, the Rangers fans are getting excited here because for the first time their manager has a Rangers kit on. He's coming on again alongside someone that he's played alongside before as well, in Charlie Adam.
Just need that ball to go out and play now.
They should keep deliberately keep it in play,
keep it for a while.
Keep it, keep it. Steven Gerrard in a Glasgow Rangers strip. Thompson, a little too close to Neil Alexander. It's Trevor Stephen. Pedro Mendes. Metronoma made a little run. Mendes, he elected to keep the ball inside the final 10 minutes now. That's towards Moles. And Pedro Mendes. Uncomfortable for Kirkland.
Well, Kirky, he's come on, look comfortable.
Keeps himself really fit, doesn't he? Speaking of which, here's Dirk Kuyt. The ball still hasn't gone out of play, by the way.
They're booing a little bit now, and they want it out, but
there's going to be a huge cheer when this ball does go out of play. Not entirely sure that Liverpool aren't keeping it deliberately. Here's Warnock to Thompson. Pedro Mendes. Nice take by Nacho Novo. The flag up against the little Spaniard. I'm pretty certain that any supporter anywhere would have liked to see Steven Gerrard's name on the back of their club's shirt down the years. The Rangers fans get the opportunity now. Trevor Stephen will make way. The great name of this club. Well, Lee McCulloch also making way as well. Lee McCulloch, of course, himself, who goes up against Steven Gerrard in Scottish football. And Charlie Adam on as well. As I say, former teammates.
Yeah.
Pennant. Johnson. Garcia. Pennant again. I just wonder if Steven Gerrard's actually going to launch himself into a challenge on one of the Liverpool players. You'll notice that John Aldridge just snuck on as well while that has all been going on. That is typical of John Aldridge. Liverpool have probably got 12 players on the field now. Knowing Aldo's cheekiness.
He scored in one of these.
He has, yeah.
Slotted. Penalty, was it? Had to be, didn't it?
He's had to come on now because the number 8 shirt's free, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cow. Shot struck Andrews. And Papach for Mendes. Gerrard. His first touch in the colours of Rangers. This is Moles. Alex Ray. On towards Charlie Adam. Oh, well, Alex Ray took it off the toe with Steven Gerrard. This is Papach. Gerrard. Glenn Johnson in the way. Gerrard again. Charlie Adam onto that left foot. Have to watch his left foot. And Johnson in the way again. And teammates, of course, at Stoke, those two. As well as Liverpool.
Yeah. Strange one that, wasn't it? Carragher closing down Gerrard to the edge of the box.
Here's Warnock. I think Luis Garcia thought he was getting that back there.
And again.
It's on for Pennant. Glenn Johnson's pass wasn't the best.
I think Glenn Johnson's going to want a midfield role in this next game that happens. He's been breaking forward quite a lot, hasn't he, in this game?
There's Pedro Mendes. Gerrard. On for Nacho Novo. Carragher's coming. Well, Nacho Novo got the run. Decided he had to go for goal, but couldn't.
Great ball, wasn't it?
The sort of contact he wanted.
Kind of a Stevie G famous ball, this, isn't it, that one? Just down the side of the centre-backs, and for a striker just to hit, and Novo just... maybe if he just tried to lift it, Kirky was off his line.
Oh. Can't look at the pitch these days either, can you? When you get one of those. Adam. Ray. Pedro Mendes. Papach. Moles. Nice turn. A lovely little shift from Michael Moles. Staggeringly, the ball didn't go out of play, it just went and stopped on the touchline.
Been quite lively, hasn't he, since he come on, Michael Moles. Again, another big favourite, the Rangers fans in that era. Plenty of goals from
Ray. Gerrard. Moles. And Carragher with the defensive header. Stephen Warnock.
Gone out, has it?
I thought he'd done well to keep it in play.
Brilliant.
Charlie Adam with the corner. John Aldridge is going to close down Alan Hutton.
Did the oldest player today, Aldo? 60, is he? Big John? Sorry, Aldo, I wasn't rubbing that one in. I just clarifying he was the oldest.
61, of course.
61.
Yeah, just turned 61 in September.
See, I'm seeing he only looks 60.
He'll be pleased with that. Of course, Richard Goff's 57, isn't he? Played the first 20 minutes. Hutton again. I think Liverpool have had, of course, with Johnson and Carragher is a pretty safe central defensive partnership. Pennant isn't moving too well now with that Achilles problem he's playing with. David Thompson made a little run. Here's Aldridge. Thompson. Oh. Well, he was trying a little flick, it didn't work for him. Well, he was down just to be assistant managers today, John Aldridge, and he's managed to...
He couldn't resist, could he?
No.
I think you're right. Once that number 8 came off for Liverpool, it was his chance, wasn't it, to get on the field.
That's a decent strike. Oh! It flashed off the top of the crossbar from Alex Ray as well.
Been one of the better players out there today, hasn't he, Alex Ray? Been everywhere. And great effort. The ball in from Stevie G, and Alex Ray comes inside, strikes it beautifully. Oh, don't think the keeper would have got that one.
Beautiful hit, wasn't it?
Yeah. Kirky will say he had it covered.
Just one little note. There's only 90 seconds left, but just on a little side note, as Jason McAteer's coming back on, Clint Hill is currently up against John Aldridge. Now, John was his manager at Tranmere, so you just wonder if he'll want to kick him before the game ends. But Cowd is as fit as ever and has worked as hard as ever. It's always a pleasure to see him back.
Yeah, big character, isn't he? Very popular wherever he goes, Dirk Kuyt. Liverpool fans have loved him, even the Rangers fans giving him good ovation as he's coming off. Obviously doing a good job now at Feyenoord, looking to progress with them.
And Jason McAteer back on because Peter Lowenkrantz is no longer on the field. We do give Jason some good-natured stick in these sort of games, but it is also worth saying that behind the scenes he is one of the driving forces of this Legends team and helps to put it all together. It's so hard for the foundation and making sure all these players are playing. Great desire and great love of the football club that prompts that. Papac. Alex Ray towards Moles, another good take. Steven Gerrard, Charlie Adam. He might have backed him on his left peg from there, certainly not on his right. Was it Enrique and Charlie Adam with a right old ding dong for the ball? And Jose Enrique none too happy with that, and the referee decides that will do. Steven Gerrard didn't get a goal in the colours of Rangers. And amazingly, on a day that in the colours of Liverpool, when he kept trying and trying and trying, he just couldn't find a way through. But it has been another fantastic day of Legends football. Another really, really good game. There'll be plenty of bumps and bruises along the way. But the Rangers manager, in the colours of Rangers, ends up on the losing side, having played most of the game for what is the winning team. Liverpool Legends win again after another cracking game.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant display, hasn't it, from both teams. Great attitude from everyone, you know, for such great causes for both football clubs. And yeah, some good performances, but obviously we're here for both foundations today, so fantastic. And all the players now, I'm sure, will go and enjoy their evening.
Well, for Steven Gerrard, of course, after today and tonight, it's back to business, of course, in the Scottish Premier. Weird embrace between Jamie Carragher and Steven Gerrard. That just looked...
That was weird.
It looked strange, seeing those two embrace each other as opponents. But for Neil Alexander, it would have been a much bigger scoreline in that second half. No goals in the second half, but not the lack of chances. And as you say, the second 45 is always harder for these
It's always
boys.
a bit different because you come in, the limbs seize up, don't they, and it's difficult to get going again, get moving. But yeah, it was a good. Both teams had a go, didn't they? And like you say, Neil Alexander made plenty of saves for Rangers in that second half, and Rangers had a couple of half chances as well. But in the end, I think probably Liverpool, if you're talking about the result, just edged it.
Well, they did, and there will be plenty of smiles tonight, and there will be plenty of celebrations amongst both sets of these players and staff. Alec McLeish once the manager here, Steven Gerrard the current manager here, and the applause from the current manager for what's been a really, really good turnout. Thomas Buffel wanting his picture taken, so too Trevor Steven as well, with the little man as well. He's always in demand. And Trevor Steven, one of the greats of the past. For those, of course, they always come and they always turn it on. Patrick Berger, Luis Garcia, Emil Heskey, of course, with his goal as well. Another fine afternoon at Ibrox. And of course, we move on. There'll be the big foundation game at Anfield in March that we can all look forward to. And it's brilliant to see those Liverpool fans who made the journey up here to enjoy their afternoon watching the greats, the iconic, the heroes. Hardly seen Ian Rush today, of course, as manager, but he's always around, he's always here.
Yeah, a great man.
And a wonderful ovation for Steven Gerrard, and a wonderful ovation for those players. Chris Boyd will be getting plenty of stick tonight for his penalty miss, not his goal.
Yeah.
And Peter Lovenkrantz, who also got himself on the score sheet as well, Buffon with that horrendous miss.
That wasn't great, was it? I'm sure they'll show that later.
Steven Gerrard, of course, denied a goal for Liverpool by a brilliant challenge by his fellow Highton boy, Clint Hill. But it is, as always, smiles all round. Another really enjoyable afternoon. And a good day for the foundations of Rangers and for Liverpool as well. Richard Gough and Alec McLeish still out there, everyone. They're just like savouring it up, this atmosphere. You don't get a taste of it these days.
They miss it, don't they? So it's great to see. And much deserved as well. They've all put so much effort in today as well, making things happen, like you say, Jason behind the scenes, lots of other people from both clubs playing big parts as well that you don't see at times. So yeah, it's great that the players get that.
And to get that opportunity to go out and play one more time in front of this crowd. You see Richard Gough there, Mark Hateley there, of course, in the middle of the picture. He once scored a very famous England goal in the Maracanã. And Clint Hill of much real recent stock in the colours of Glasgow Rangers. But it is Liverpool who end as victors at Ibrox Stadium and finishes Rangers Legends 2 and Liverpool Legends 3.
Good evening, you're watching LFC News, and here are tonight's headlines.
June the 1st, win the Champions League. June the 2nd, parade. June 3rd, well, a recovery day for most of us, we're guessing.
European